From giant octopi to strange deep-sea sounds, here's 10 mysterious things discovered in the Mariana Trench. 10. Zombie worms. Osedax is Latin for bone eater, which is an appropriate term for the genus of marine creatures that also goes by their more common nickname, zombie worm. At first glance, the organisms look a bit like plants, but they're a type of aquatic worm that secretes acids, enabling them to bore deep into the bones of dead animals. Because they lack a mouth and a stomach, they're also equipped with special bacteria that convert the proteins and fats from the bones into nutrients. Zombie worms display something called sexual dimorphism, with females measuring up to 5 centimeters long, while their male counterparts are microscopic and don't develop past their larval stage. Scientists discovered the Osedax genus in 2002 on the skeleton of a rotting grey whale at a depth of around 3,000 meters. They are still learning about these creatures, with some experts speculating that zombie worms feed specifically on whale bones, while others are less quick to assume that they're such picky eaters. In one experiment, they readily colonized cow bones that were suspended near the seafloor. Critics allege that this test was unrealistic, because it's highly unlikely for terrestrial animal bones to descend to the bottom of the ocean, let alone a random cow, and is therefore not a realistic basis for gauging the zombie worm's food preferences or habits. For as little as we know about them, worms resembling the Osedax have been found in dinosaur fossils dating as far back as 100 million years ago. 9. Dumbo Octopus. The Grimpoteuthis genus encompasses at least 15 of the world's deepest dwelling octopus species, which are found around 4,000 meters below the water's surface. At such extreme depths, they are used to extremely cold temperatures and pitch-black levels of darkness. Measuring just 20 to 30 centimeters long on average, they're nicknamed Dumbo Octopuses for their 2 large fins that protrude like giant elephant ears from their pale, bell-shaped bodies. While some people think these creatures are cute, there's no denying that they're also quite strange-looking. They have slender protrusions on their suckers known as cirri, and scientists believe these body parts are used for feeding, but are admittedly unsure what their purpose is, according to National Geographic. Unlike other octopuses, Dumbo octopuses do not travel through the water by forcefully expelling water from their siphons, a process called jet propulsion. Instead, they swim by slowly flapping their fins with the help of webbing between their arms, which causes them to resemble an umbrella, hence their other nickname, umbrella octopuses. Dumbo octopuses also lack an ink sac because they rarely encounter predators in their deep habitat. Lucky them! Because these unique animals are rare, they have adapted specialized behaviors that help them reproduce efficiently. Females are equipped with eggs at all stages of development and can store sperm for later use, enabling them to transfer it to their eggs long after mating. 8. Barreleye Fish. First described in 1939, the elusive barreleye fish, Macropina microstoma, is named for its tubular eyes, which are set inside its transparent head. Scientists know very little about this alien-like creature, which they consider to be one of the most peculiar species found in the ocean's pelagic zone, at depths of up to around 200 meters. A 2009 study, building on previous knowledge that the fish's eyes are very adept at collecting light, found that the barreleye's transparent head is probably an adaptation that also helps it to see in the pitch darkness of its environment. The findings also disproved the previously held belief that the fish's eyes are fixed in a way that only allows it to look upward. Researchers based their conclusions on observations gathered from the rare opportunity to study the barreleye when a live specimen was brought to the surface for a few hours and managed to stay alive. They noticed that the fish's eyes are not only capable of rotating, but that they're green, which they believe can help filter out sunlight from overhead and also help the fish spot bioluminescent prey. But many questions remain regarding the 19 known barreleye fish species, including exactly how their vision works, and whether their unusually short body is some kind of bizarre evolutionary adaptation. 7. A strange sound. In 2016, scientists captured the first audio recordings from the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, known as the Challenger Deep, which extends 10.9 kilometers below the water's surface. The creepy clips consist of low rumbles, strange moans, and high-pitched screeches, including a 3.5-second recording that contains a mixture of moaning, metallic twang, and other bizarre noises that scientists fail to connect to any human or geological source. After ruling out ships, seismic air guns, earthquakes, ice, and other causes, researchers were left baffled. Dubbed the Western Pacific Biotwang, the mixture of mystery sounds was unlike anything else they had ever heard, and they captured it several times. They eventually determined that the noise must have biological origins. In other words, it was made by an unknown living creature. After comparing it to another bizarre vocalization that was recorded in the Great Barrier Reef in 2001, scientists concluded, based on frequency and structure similarities, that the unidentified concoction of sounds is likely a dwarf minke whale call. The dwarf minke whale is a baleen whale and a subspecies of the common minke whale, which is known for making some of the ocean's strangest sounds. This mystery is still far from solved, especially since the Western Pacific Biotwang was recorded at different times of the year. Yet baleen whale calls are typically associated with mating, which occurs mainly during the winter. While the findings are a good starting point for further research, they're still hardly conclusive. What do you think the sound was? My money's on Godzilla. Let me know in the comments below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. 6. Deep Sea Hatchetfish. Named after their hatchet-like body shape, the 45 or so known hatchetfish species hail from the Steranopticidae family of deep-sea fishes and are found at depths of around 180 to 1,400 meters. They have extremely thin bodies and range in size from 2.5 to 15 centimeters long, with the largest species being the giant hatchetfish, Argiopelicus gigas. Hatchetfish have large, upward-facing eyes that are extremely light-sensitive and capable of detecting shadows from above. They are also equipped with photophores that run along their underside and produce light via a chemical reaction similar to that of the firefly. Scientists believe that hatchetfish use their photophores to hide from predators by adjusting the light level to match the faint light from overhead, and that the photophores may also play a role in mating. But their knowledge of the creature's mating habits and life cycle is limited, since it's incredibly difficult to study deep-dwelling marine life with our current technologies. While most experts agree that hatchetfish have a lifespan of roughly a year, and that they probably migrate to shallower waters to feed at night, much of this knowledge is speculative at best, showing just how much we have to learn about our underexplored oceans. 5. Fanfin Seadevil. If you're familiar with anglerfish, you probably know they're some of the most nightmarish-looking fish on the planet, with gaping mouths full of razor-sharp teeth and strange lures protruding from their heads. There are about 168 known anglerfish species, and choosing which one is the ugliest would be pretty difficult. One possible contender is the Fanfin Seadevil. Found in the bathyal zone at depths of between 100 to 1500 meters, this pitch-black species has an array of bioluminescent tentacles. Females grow up to 20 centimeters long, while males are no more than a half inch, which is 1.27 centimeters long. Until 2018, humans had never witnessed a live specimen. That year, a group of researchers captured footage of a mating pair nearly 800 meters underwater. Anglerfish engage in one of the most bizarre reproductive processes in the animal kingdom, known as sexual parasitism, when males latch onto females and live off their blood supply. The male becomes permanently fused to the female and depends on her entirely for nutrients. Meanwhile, his eyes, fins, and all his internal organs, except for his sexual organs, just degenerate. Finding a mate is difficult in the deep sea, which is why scientists think anglerfish evolved such a drastic way of procreating. Talk about sacrificing everything for the sake of love. Number 4. Benthicodon. The benthicodon is an unusual type of jellyfish and a small predatory creature known as a hydrozoan. There are two known species, B. hyalinus and B. petungulatus, and both prefer to live at depths lower than 25,000 feet. The creature's rounded top, or bell, typically measures between 1.9 to 3 centimeters in diameter and has an estimated 1,500 red tentacles attached to it, which it uses for propelling itself through the water. Unlike most other jellyfish, which are transparent, the benthicodon is an opaque red color. Scientists believe this may help to conceal the bioluminescent glow of small crustaceans and other organisms the benthicodon eats, thereby protecting it from predators. Although the benthicodon is found in the Mariana Trench, it has a widespread presence throughout the Arctic and Pacific Oceans, where it can be found living near the seafloor. It's one of many deep-sea creatures that scientists just don't know much about, given the difficulties associated with observing and studying them in their natural environment. Number 3. Mariana Snailfish. Found at depths between around 6,000 to 8,000 meters, The Mariana Snailfish is one of very few creatures that can survive in the ocean's deepest region, known as the Hadal Zone. It was discovered in late 2014 using deepwater traps during the expedition of the research vessel Falkor, and is one of only 3 species ever caught at a depth of 8,000 meters or lower. Measuring up to around 30 centimeters long, this pale, tadpole-like species lives near what scientists consider to be the theoretical maximum depth possible for fish. In other words, they don't think it's possible for fish to live much deeper. Good job, little snailfish! The Mariana snailfish has special adaptations that help it survive in the complete absence of light, and the extreme pressure that comes with being kilometers beneath the surface, which equals the weight of 1,600 elephants, according to National Geographic. This species has no pigment, is translucent, with no scales and very thin muscles. It is either nearly or completely blind, and the ossification of its bones, namely the skull, is incomplete. Even at a cellular level, the Mariana snailfish is specially equipped for life in the deep, with specialized membranes that allow the cells to maintain their flexibility. It also lays unusually large eggs, measuring up to 9.4 millimeters in diameter, which is also thought to be an adaptation to its habitat. Number 2. Telescope Octopus. To observe a telescope octopus, Amphitrite pelagicus, in its natural habitat, you would have to travel at least 1,900 meters below the surface of the Indian or Pacific Ocean. It's transparent to the point of being nearly colorless and has 8 arms that are all the same size and have a delicate webbing between them. The fascinating telescope octopus possesses several traits that make it distinct from other octopi. For one, it does not swim horizontally near the seafloor, but instead suspends itself vertically and drifts through the water. Scientists believe this could make it more difficult for predators to spot the creature from below. Additionally, the species has 2 tubular, rotating eyeballs that give it wide peripheral vision, enabling it to spot more predators and prey, hence its fun nickname. Researchers can't quite explain the evolutionary mechanisms behind these bizarre peepers, and the telescope octopus is the one of its kind that has them. Some scientists believe that this and a few other species have evolved to spend their entire lives in a larval stage. This phenomenon, known as neoteny, is characterized by slowed or delayed physiological development as well as sexual maturity during the juvenile phase. Number 1. Deep-sea dragonfish. Hailing from the Stomidae family, the 57 known deep-sea dragonfish species live at depths between 200 to 2,000 meters. They're quite small, measuring just 15 to 26 centimeters long, but these apex predators are nevertheless terrifying, with fang-like teeth and enormous jaws that can open up to 120 degrees, enabling them to catch prey more than 50% greater than their standard length, and making them look like something straight out of a horror movie. These adaptations help deep-sea dragonfish get enough to eat in an environment that is extremely lacking of variety and abundance of food. Like many deep-sea fish, these creatures are bioluminescent, meaning they produce their own light through a bodily chemical process using organs we've mentioned before known as photophores, which are on the sides of the fish's body and at the end of a long string-like barbel that protrudes from its chin. The deep-sea dragonfish waves this barbel back and forth to attract both prey and mates. These creatures are the only fish capable of generating and seeing red light, which gives them a significant advantage over other deep-dwelling marine creatures. By emitting red light, deep-sea dragonfish can look for prey without other animals noticing, since they can't even see it. Scientists even believe that they may use this special ability to communicate with one another. But red light does not travel far underwater, so the fish must get pretty close to its prey before going in for the kill. Thankfully, deep-sea dragonfish are extremely dark, which also helps them stealth in on their target unnoticed. Thanks for watching. What else could be lurking in the waters below? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!